I'm not that old, but I am old enough to remember a time where cables and TV dominated the era to the point if I lost the remote, I would be searching it frantically to change the channel. Why don't you just get up and push the button on the TV so you can change the channel?
Don't even joke like that.
Compared to today when you lose your phone, you could just, I don't know, look around for 10 minutes and have your friend call your phone so you can find it. And it just takes like 20 minutes at best. Compared to looking for a TV remote, I bet that feels like a nightmare to you all. But back then, that was the norm. That was the age of cables. For those holding a phone or have never experienced the era where cables dominate everything, consider yourself lucky. You don't know the pain when cables were the top dog and how families would fight over the TV remote so they could watch their favorite show. Stuff like,
don't shoot!
Or,
ow, that's my fucking tooth!
Kind of like what you see in a Black Friday deal. If you have ever seen an ad where the kids are watching happily in front of the TV and laughing and having pillow fights, that's not true. Well, 10% of it is true, but most of the time it's fighting over the channel of what they want to watch. Compared to streaming and phones, you probably don't have those kind of fights anymore. Well, unless you have one phone or computer and just wrestling for it. If you ask me to choose between streaming or cable, I'm cutting the cord, but I do miss coming home after school than having a snack or having a TV remote in my hand while watching TV. Yeah, it's more convenient with a phone, especially when you can just watch YouTube anytime you want. You don't even need to be home to watch the show. Just pull out your phone and watch YouTube in school and just don't get caught by your teachers. I know I'm making it sound like cable is gone. I mean, obviously we still have it and we're still watching it for some, but I haven't had cable since I switched over to streaming. 20 years ago, no one dared to cut the cable. Well, except my mom because I was watching too much TV. Now, look at us today. My mom wouldn't even dare to cut our internet because if she did, she would be cut off as well, and she needs it to do her work. That just shows how much internet got a hold on us. If you cut a cable back then in a local community, it would cause a riot. If you cut off the internet today, it will be... While I was watching Rick and Morty on YouTube, I thought to myself, holy crap, cable is still going on? And that got me comparing how I watched cable back then and today with streaming. First off, obviously will be the linear broadcast. That's right everyone, unlike streaming where you have apps or service where you can watch your videos anytime you want, in cable you have to know the exact time and date to watch your favorite show because when it aired you can't watch it again until they broadcast it again. If you want to watch your favorite show, you have to be there on time. If you missed it, you can just go on YouTube and watch it again. Well, if you bought the VHS or DVD, you can, but you have to buy them, but really most of us just rented them. And that's another annoying part, because once you rented them, you have to return them. If you didn't, you're gonna be paying the late fee, and trust me, a lot of us did that. Hey, make sure you return that DVD! I don't wanna pay the late fee. Yeah, okay. That'll be 20 bucks. Rest in peace, Blockbuster. Now, let's say you missed out on your favorite show and want to watch it. Well, you can't just go on the same channel or a different one and force it to play the show again. Unless it was SpongeBob SquarePants. You had to find out what time it was going to air again. And how do you find out when your show was going to air again? TV Guide channels. Honestly, they weren't that bad. They play some catchy music where they show you what show was going to air. Or if you were even more old-fashioned, you could just subscribe to a TV Guide magazine. Just pay 20 to 40 bucks every year and they'll send you a magazine every 2 weeks that'll tell you what show is going to come up. It's like subscription to streaming services, except you don't watch them, you read to know what was going to air on your TV. That's why you see so many marking their calendars to remind them when their show is going to air. And now many families fight over each other for the remote because their favorite show collided at the same time. And that's another thing about cables. Prices. If you were a child like me who didn't have to pay for cables because your mom and dad were forking out hundreds of dollars just to watch shows, consider yourself lucky because looking back now, it was a bad deal. Most streaming services cost around $10, $30 if you don't want ads, while cables cost at least $65 just for the basic channels. True, there's the ongoing debate about the rising cost of subscription if you don't want ads, but you know what, still better than cable. Plus the ads aren't as bad as cables. You can mostly skip them, while cables, you're stuck between ads and trailers. And if you're like me, you don't need streaming all the time. Just go to YouTube channels for entertainment until your brain rots. All you have to do is just pay for the internet fee. Compared to cables, if something were to happen, you have to get technical support for someone to come over, fix any loose wires and problems in your TV, and that's gonna cost at least $50. And that's not even considering the contracts or equipment fees that come with it. Imagine if someone who lived in the cable area suddenly came in this time and saw the bills of internet and streaming, they would be like, wow, what have I been paying all this time? I know I mentioned ads a few times, but ads were the worst in cables. Or commercials, what they were called. Joy Boy, what are you talking about? YouTube has a bunch of ads, and my Netflix and Hulu account are starting to have unskippable ads. How can cable be any worse than that? Yes. They always have ads. I'm not going to go on the debate about how streaming services are starting to have unskippable ads, but imagine now on cables times 5. Now, personally, I have a mixed relationship on this one. On one hand, when a commercial is playing, I could take a break and go to the bathroom or have a snack to take a break and maybe catch a few good commercials about movies or video games. But compare that to streaming where you can just go to any point of video and the ads are mostly just 5 to 15 seconds. On cables, you can't do that. In cable, imagine that but with 2 to 4 minutes where you can't skip. If you were like me who didn't want to miss a second on Cartoon Network, you're just sitting there watching commercials, bored out of your mind, and you don't want to change the channel because you don't want to miss what you were watching. It's not like where you could just go and stream where you can just click on the skip button to skip the ads. You can't even pause it. When shows are playing, you can't go back to where you missed the funny part. If you missed it, you missed it, and you have to wait hours for the channel to show the episode again. If they showed it. I kinda wish cables gave us a mouse to just, I don't know, click on the ads to vent our frustration until we annoy them enough to skip the commercial.
Outside of everything. Inside of nothing. Infinite eternity by...
Alright, you can skip now!
Okay, that may be a little harsh, but if you were watching an annoying commercial, you would feel my pain. Despite what cable had, I had a good time with it, and it's part of my childhood. Would I go back to it? No. I have internet and streaming. That's all I need. If you're an introvert like me, you know that feeling. Now look at me now. No longer on the couch, eating potato chips, surfing through the channels, or at least staring at static on TV. Now I'm on a chair, behind a computer, spending 18 hours watching YouTube. Awesome turn of events. It's kinda weird how we got entertainment now. Back then, no one can live without cable. A few decades ago, there have been shows where everyone no longer had cables and everyone lost their mind and beating the crap out of each other. Now look at us now, watching YouTube, and if we lost the internet, we probably would still beat the crap out of each other. Makes you question our dependency on entertainment. What if AI replaces streaming with holograms? If that does happen, do me a favor and come back in 20 years and say I was right. Or you could just give me a like and comment in 20 years how I predicted the future.